Hi, everyone, and welcome back to the Colorado LTAP Tailgate Talk. Today, we're going to be talking about our hard hats. Here's why we're talking about it. Workers in this industry are exposed to overhead hazards daily. Incorrect use leaves workers vulnerable to head injuries. Hard hats are required when working in areas where there is a potential for injury to the head from falling objects. In addition, hard hats designed to reduce electrical shock are required when working near exposed electrical conductors that may contact the head. Hard hats should be used when falling object hazards may result from activities with proximity to persons or operations where accidental dropping or loss of material or tools, equipment, or other articles could lead to a head injury. A barricaded or posted demolition or construction area where head hazards exist. Objects stored on shelves, platforms, etc., that may fall and cause head injury. Overhead exposed energized conductors nearby. So these are some statistics from 2016, but they're not that much different than now. The number of days away from work is the same, but I'm fairly certain the number or the average cost has increased along with everything else. The figures here were taken from across the transportation industry, but not specific to maintenance, but you are all in these categories here. Over $78,000 per claim, closer to $100,000 per claim now, and days lost are just the beginning for the injured person. Some head injuries have life-altering consequences for employees, their families, and their coworkers. The thing is, all of this is preventable. All hard hats must comply with the ANSI Z89.1. That's the American National Standards for personal protective equipment and protective headwear for industrial workers. The suspension system inside the hat is designed to help absorb and dissipate impact while keeping a clearance between the head and the shell of the hat. The class of hat is usually noted inside the hat shell. I'm going to talk about that in a minute. But you can see the picture here of the suspension inside the hat, and it's really important that you get that put together properly when you take it out of the package. Type 1 helmets are intended to reduce the force of impact resulting from a blow only to the top of the head. So you can see this 8-pound weight here hitting just the very top of the hat. Type 2 helmets are intended to reduce the force of impact resulting from a blow to the top and the side of the head. So this is a little bit more protection. If something were to come flying at you from the side, it would also protect you that way. Class E helmets are for use where electrical hazards are present, like in utility services that are non-conducting and intended to protect against falling objects and reduce the danger of exposure to high voltage electrical shocks and burns. These offer the highest protection with a high voltage shock and burn protection up to 20,000 volts. Class G, you can see that here too. These are general use, intended to protect against falling objects and reduce the danger of exposure to low voltage electrical conductors. They provide impact and penetration resistance and protection up to 2,200 volts. And then Class C, these are not tested for electrical resistance. They are designed for lightweight comfort and impact protection and are not intended to provide protection from electrical conductors. So here you can see both the Class E and the Class C, and the difference is not always visible. The brim is really not a clue. You need to check the rating of the helmet to be sure the level of protection that you are getting. And like I said earlier, that's usually inside the helmet or on the package. I want to go back to this photo for a minute because, like I said before, it's important to put the helmet together according to the manufacturer's direction. Make sure it fits snug on your head, but not too tight. And a common mistake people make is to wear it backwards. And I don't know if it's because of the ventilation. I mean, the air might move around a little better if you put it on backwards, but don't do that. It's not tested to be worn backwards. It's tested to be worn with the knob in the back and the brim in the front. So where are the overhead hazards in your work site every day? Well, they're in tree work, right? You can see here. branches or whatever you're doing up there is a overhead hazard. Working around equipment like loaders, backhoes, sweepers, dump trucks, working around overhead storage in stock rooms, tool rooms, lift rigging in a mechanic shop, rotating machinery that can throw broken parts, even items stored on top of lockers. And in some facilities now, when they install the lockers, they have slanted tops on them so people cannot put things on top of them. Specialty helmets may have hearing protection attached or a face shield for added protection. You can see these sometimes in tree workers or folks that are doing something with blowing pieces maybe lying around for the face shield. So the key points to remember today: every overhead injury on the job is preventable. Overhead hazards are everywhere. Type 1 helmets protect from hits on top of the head. Type 2 protects from hits on top and sides. Type E is required for protection from electrical hazards when working around utilities, specifically up to 20,000 volts. Specialty helmets can include hearing and eye protection also. The material for today's Tailgate Talk came from the National Safety Council Injury Facts and from the University of Ohio Environmental Health Services Research Office. So thank you for attending the Colorado LTAP Tailgate Talk today. I hope you found the head protection safety topic helpful and that you incorporate it into your daily routine. These are preventable injuries, and taking the steps to protect your head is entirely up to you. Thank you.